Hi, you're listening to Boggy Talk, Faith Conversations in the Mud, a resource of Church on Bayshore.
Well, hey, thanks for joining us today on Boggy Talk.
Hey.
We're going to start off today.
I have an issue.
Oh, no.
What's your issue?
So I was so happy to sit in the middle now because, like, you guys are better looking than me and there'll be less side angles. But there's more side angles on the camera
Really?
in this middle seat. Yeah, because you get that one's right at you, that one's right at him.
Yeah, and so you
guys tricked me.
You're kind of caught in the middle.
You guys tricked me.
These new cameras are way too clear.
1 Corinthians
That's the only
14
problem.
says conceal like the things that need to be hidden, and y'all need to hide. Hide my bad sides.
We'll blur you out in shots.
Thank you.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we need
All right.
less precision. In these
All right, sorry.
cameras, that's for
Proceed
sure.
with real stuff, Kelly.
So we have lots of important things to start out with, but basically, I want to know what's on your mind. What have you read recently or seen on TV or online, and you were like, what? Or maybe excited, what?
You know, I read an article yesterday that was not new news, but the interview is new about controversy that happened back in May with the Christian group Avalon. We didn't talk about this, but it was happening.
Do you even know who that
the
is?
song,
I do, yeah.
Test-
Testify to Love.
Testify to Love. That it was.
I don't know
the
how that song goes,
That
but I know
song
it.
spent more weeks on number one than any other Christian song prior to it. So record breaking. And then one of the original members recently
Is gay.
Is gay.
Yeah. Surprise,
came out.
surprise.
But then
A 90s Christian worship band has a gay
so
person?
that was the whole article, basically. But anyway, they came out, they re-released it in May ahead of Pride Month and basically took this song and made it a Pride anthem. So there was great controversy because...
All of them?
him and one of the other women who was a part of the group, who is now a pastor and is affirming. And so what I'm referencing is I read an article yesterday that was just released. It was an interview with them and none other than Jen Hatmaker talking about...
What? She jumped on controversy to try to make money off of it? That's
I know,
not
right? But I was just grieved, you know. I was just like, but it was about their perspective on things. And yeah, it was sad. But the article was about basically in the 90s. I think her name was Melissa, who was the other person, Avalon. She was basically saying everyone knew this was happening in CCM, but it was literally don't ask, don't tell. Until people started speaking out, and then they were just like, well, you're no longer can be a part of this. And so anyway, just
Interesting.
was grieved.
Yeah. What about you? Any?
So my serious one would be, and I actually posted some on social media and took it down because I'm like, it's not worth it.
Oh, did you?
But I saw that like in Massachusetts, Massachusetts or Maryland, I think it was Massachusetts, it reinstated that abortion is completely legal, like no restrictions up to birth. And I was actually okay, so let's take pro-life aside for a moment. Why in 2026, with all the science and all the medicine and all this stuff, do people need to have abortions at 39 weeks? There is no, other than I just want to have an abortion at 39 weeks. Yeah. Because obviously laws already restrict, like if the baby's stillborn, like you can do that. Like there is literally no reason.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, this is clearly, but the story is a woman at 33 weeks was conflicted if she could have it. I'm like, no, because the baby had a stroke and was dead.
Yeah.
Of course. You don't have to deliver that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
So that was my unserious one was, and I think I shared this with you guys. This was a great tweet. My son told me that the bougie man was under his bed. And I said to him, I think you mean the boogeyman. And then the voice from under the bed said, this thread count is pathetic on these sheets.
It's just a bougie man.
Isn't that great?
That is
I messed it up
that's
because I was
good.
laughing.
That is a good one.
That's good.
Yes.
Good dad joke.
That is good.
Yeah,
What about you?
I like
What'd
that.
you see? What'd you read this week?
Well, I found out that my town they say we're getting an Aldi, but I don't know if I believe it or not.
Freeport?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
great.
We are getting a Walmart, and then they said that, and like I said, I'm not sure if it's true, but this person's parent is a well-known real estate agent, and so I
Okay.
feel like it could be valid. So
Yeah.
that made
Listen,
me
all the talk,
very excited.
Yeah, all the talk in Niceville is about the Florida Power Light Building that's becoming Chase Bank. And people keep asking, and people
Oh,
keep
I saw
posting.
that.
And then and then somebody comments like, "We'll just stay plain on Niceville." I'm like, it's why is that the comment? It's fine. It's great.
Yeah,
Yay.
always banks.
They'll
Right
have lots of money and lots of stuff in Niceville,
That's
so they
right.
store it and they go to banks.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, speaking
Do you guys
of,
go to a bank ever?
well, sometimes.
Literally very rarely.
I had to recently because my card was compromised, and they had like next day they're just like walk in and get
It's
a
all
new
that
card.
Timu
So.
you've been ordering.
Yes,
back.
yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
For church or for personal stuff?
Both, yeah. No.
Okay.
This background box, it's not.
Is
It's
it
not
Timu?
Timu. No,
Shein?
it's Amazon.
Oh, okay.
So you
Probably
know,
same
It's a step up.
It's subsidized.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
Shein.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, we have today a fun little episode. We're talking a lot about just church life, ministry, staff, things like that. And so we wanted to talk about some common questions that we get recently.
Yes,
just
yeah,
kind of with
recently.
things going on. And so we're just going to rapid fire these questions off. So the first one that we get a lot, Justin, what roles are open in our church right now?
Well, that's a great question. First, we want to praise God for the ways He's filled some of the roles
That's
that we
right,
have.
yeah.
But currently, we have 3 roles that we're hiring for. One is receptionist, Tara Dunkel, who is currently in that role. In October, we'll be moving to the mission field. She'll be moving to Cambodia. So we praise God for that. She's done a great job. Taken over for the one and only Brenda Cook in that position. We are hiring a worship leader. As Pastor PT moved over the summer, we are hiring that position and accepting resumes right now. And then we are also hiring a production director. So to help with coordination of all of our media, video, things specifically that Sunday morning, and then also all the support work that happens through the week to make that happen. Our videos, media production for our Sunday gatherings. Also, they support student worship. They support the communications team and all of
Great.
us. So, yeah. So if you know any great candidates, send them my way.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
Justin, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. We need to find
Immediately,
somebody here. We
please.
might be looking for an executive pastor of ministry.
say
and
that.
mission.
I will say our team is like, what can I do? What can I
Yeah.
do? And people
That's
are like,
true.
I can handle. I mean, not just our staff team, but volunteer teams.
Yeah,
people
right.
are have volunteered extra time and are like, just tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I would say that I would, as a pastor at this church, I would say that in these transitions, we have found that our church is one, very gracious, and two, very supportive.
Yeah,
and
that's
really
good.
They all serve a lot anyway, but they're
Yeah.
like, listen, we know, we want to help, and so it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Agreed.
that's great. All right. So speaking of new hires that we had, so we hired a new discipleship pastor.
Right.
So Michael used to be the discipleship pastor.
Yes.
So what will his new role be?
Yeah, great question. And I have been asked this a lot. And I think one thing to remember is that Michael's role, and still is right now, is associate pastor of discipleship and outreach.
Yes.
So it wasn't just discipleship. So,
Right, yeah.
so he's moving to the role of associate pastor of care and outreach. And part of the reason for bringing on one more pastor was pastoral care needs have grown. And we kind of felt like, okay, we either got to hire somebody to do that, or we got to hire somebody to do one of these other 2 things. And we did feel like Michael's strongest is care. And so it was kind of like, then we had an opportunity we felt like hiring somebody to do discipleship was probably the smartest thing to do. And God opened a door with Skylar. And so there we are. So for the rest of this year, Skylar, this airs on Tuesday. Skylar started in the office yesterday. For the rest of this year, it'll be kind of a transition period.
Okay.
And then Michael will fully be in that role in January, even though he's already doing a lot of that.
Yeah.
He's very gifted at that. And so we're excited that will help us as a pastoral staff do our best to ensure that needs of people in the church are not overlooked by the pastoral staff at all. So our life groups are generally pretty good at caring for people and letting us know what's going on, but
Yeah.
it probably needs a little more intentionality.
Yeah.
And by probably,
Yeah.
I mean definitely.
Yeah,
does.
it just
So,
does.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yeah, and all of us pastor and kind
We're
of
all
help each
doing
other in
that,
different
but-
things. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in July, we started a new project that
Yeah.
is part of a larger project, the parking lot. And there's lots of dirt.
yes,
and
there's lots of dirt.
Everyone wants to know, when is it
less
gonna be done?
trees, Yeah.
Supposed to be done in October.
Okay.
Yep. So that's the timeline. I mean, construction always. So it was like 3 months. So October. I wouldn't be surprised if it was November because that's just how things
Yeah,
work.
true.
But yeah, we're excited. What, 100 and almost 180 more
Yeah,
parking
it'll
spaces?
be fantastic
Yes.
when it's all. I don't know the number. Off the
Yeah,
top of my head,
and
but-
thankfully, we were underspent what we projected, so we'll be able to spend some of that money, hopefully, on improving not like fully paving it all, but just if you've parked in the main campus portion, you may have to like rev your engine to get out,
to get out
over the hill,
especially
and so,
going in reverse.
yeah, and that's a continual thing
Yeah.
because the water
Yeah.
runs
Yeah.
down, you know. Anyway, so yeah, I tell Jeremy at Crosspoint we get his runoff, you know, so we have to deal with it, you know. But anyway,
That's
Practice
Okay.
sounds
funny.
good, yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
so,
and it's a lot larger of a space than I realized.
I know.
Until it's
It
cleared
really
out, and I'm like,
is.
oh wow,
I know.
well
Yeah.
that's gonna be nice.
It really is.
For
Yeah.
sure.
And,
Yeah.
that's good.
but we do get asked that question a lot.
Yeah,
All
for
3
sure.
of these so far.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The next one is we have seen very high numbers, attendance on Sunday mornings, Wednesday nights. So we have a plan, but what if we outgrow our space before the build happens?
Yeah, I mean, we do anticipate that happening, so we're already trying to figure some of those things out, even though we don't necessarily need to enact them right now. Well, we feel like right now we have a decent amount of space in our worship gatherings, so we're not really focused on that as much, though we will probably have to.
Yeah.
If growth continues. Our main areas of, I guess, trying to think through the process would be students, kids, and adult life groups. So for adult life groups, I mean, our rooms are full. So
Mostly,
there's like 1 or 2 rooms open at 9:30. But our students have grown, and so our students are using more of that space at 11 in the adult space. So we're talking through a lot of different options, and basically we're just going to have to pull the trigger eventually on one of those options, and that means possibly offering kids worship in 2 hours and splitting it, younger and older, and then flip-flopping life groups for the classes that kids do. Because that's maybe what we have to do, or moving kids worship into the student worship area for that 9:30 hour to accommodate space. With life groups, we are, really trying to find groups that don't necessarily need to meet on Sundays, and now really even Wednesdays our rooms are full for life groups. So, and then shifting some of those groups potentially in homes off campus
Okay.
during those hours and during the week. And then students, our Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. I mean, Wednesday nights is kind of crazy with middle schoolers upstairs, but those are still functional as far as space. Sunday mornings are our biggest space issue, and so Jacob, we've already talked through some ideas. Some groups aren't meeting upstairs, and so they may not even go upstairs on Sunday mornings anymore because the common area is so big. So it's just going to take a lot of being fluid, figuring it out.
That's good. Well, speaking of life groups, for several years, a long time, life groups went down during the summer on Wednesday nights. But this year, a little bit different on Sundays. Some life groups went down.
Yeah, right.
So what was the reasoning? What was the thought process behind that?
I'll start with that one. So several factors. I think first and foremost, we wanted to give our student life group leaders a break. So they took off some time. And part of that is you've got camps going on, you've got New York mission trip going on, you got July 4th weekend. So it gave them a break, and then you could restart. So that was part of it. And then, our life group leaders, we're so grateful for them and their faithfulness. We wanted to give them the option to take time off from teaching every week. It's nice to have that. And then, so when you start to create like, well, this isn't meeting and this isn't meeting, it's very confusing for new people.
Yeah.
So it is just easier to let new people know, especially during that time of year with new people, a lot of new people moving in. Hey, life groups resume on X date. So we didn't tell life groups they couldn't meet. However, we weren't supposed to be communicating, hey, there's this life group that's meeting now. And additionally, because there's no student ministry, some of our life groups felt like they really had no other choice, but not to meet. But yeah, it's just to give people a break. In the Bible, there's we don't call like Sabbath. The Sabbath is Sunday morning, but in the Bible, there are seasons of rest. I would also say for those who are like, well, this is unbiblical. Well, I say this all the time. Life groups are incredibly valuable. I feel like people, if for some reason they had to choose life groups or worship, choose life groups. But life groups are actually not in the Bible.
Right.
So we're not actually breaking biblical commandments by saying people can't do that, So anyway, and honestly, they're actually Sunday school is only about 150 years old, and Christianity, in case you're wondering, is about 2,000. So so we are not a church that takes off Sunday mornings from worshiping and proclamation of the word because we feel like
it's just to align things too. I mean, just to try to align.
True.
I will say, like, we lead a Wednesday night group, and I'm of the philosophy that when you take a break, it gives you greater momentum when you start.
Yeah, I agree.
And it's so true. We see that every fall.
Yeah, we do.
we had people who weren't really regular, for the past year. It's like it gives them like a fresh start.
Yeah.
People are thinking fresh start in August. They're thinking fresh start in
Yeah.
January. School year provides that opportunity for a lot of families, and so we had people who we went around and shared, like, why are you here? And like there were 3 families who were like, we just realized over the summer something has to change for our family. We're here. And so it gives momentum.
And people
for the
leave.
church.
It's an opportunity. Like some people feel stuck.
Yeah.
That's true.
And
so
yeah.
it's like,
a
this
good
is
break
good
time.
And there was a good bit of
never
shift.
come back.
I mean, you had several families, not because of you guys, but because they started serving on Sundays,
Yeah.
shift to Wednesday night.
Which is great.
Yeah.
It gives a great time to do that. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a hard stop, clean
We
start.
had so many people on vacation. I
Yeah.
thought even if we did meet, like
Yeah.
it was pretty crazy how much travel goes on.
And
so
people can
it
still
makes sense to
connect
me.
outside
Yeah,
of
it's like,
hours.
well,
Yeah.
we'll miss them. Then go see them. Go hang out.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Okay, so
All right, Justin, this is mainly for you. How do you choose worship songs for Sunday?
Just what I like. What we do. Just kidding. So, I mean, really, the baseline question that we shouldn't have to say, but we do say is we're evaluating a course according to scriptures. And, is this true? And I mean, some churches don't. It's just like,
Yeah.
we shouldn't have
They're
sung
like,
that.
does this sound good?
I mean, the first question is it true? Not, do I like this?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of, what does it express? What we're trying, who we are as a church, our collective identity. We're thinking through culture as well too, and the culture of this church. We're multi-generational. Even in our contemporary service, you've got multiple generations represented from, students to seniors. And so we're trying to consider that. But ultimately, I think the biggest question, or biggest filter that I have in selecting songs is that, hey, we're putting words in people's mouths for how they view God and how they're expressing worship. And so that's a huge weight. And so we're not going to waste words.
Yeah.
We're not going to sing things that aren't helpful and helping, forming. We learn a lot in this sermon, but really music itself is synthesizing, and it's
It
how
does.
it really
Yeah.
it integrates it into our souls. And so, so sometimes we sing songs with lots of words, and then sometimes we sing songs with less words. And we need both. We need the doxology and the theology.
People are
That's
like,
good.
I just
I
don't.
like
I
that
don't
one.
want to repeat things. And I'm like, well, in heaven, the angels
I
are
like
crying
your
out, holy,
accent
holy,
when you
holy,
went there.
I know.
holy, holy, holy. Like I think you may say that like a whole lot.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. And also, like,
True.
if you go back and look at a lot of what people would say are the tried and true and tested hymns, there's a lot of repetition.
Yeah, Amazing Grace is everybody's favorite. It's pretty repetitious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
it's fine, and it all has its place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all has its place, and so we sing hymns in modern hymn. We modernize them for the contemporary services. We sing sometimes newer hymns in the traditional service, and sometimes a good old 80s worship chorus that is familiar to the most the people who attend that service. And then also like, we're not trying to necessarily be another church, which I think sometimes people just wish we would. Just be like, will you just make it just like this church?
Yeah, yeah,
And
right.
I'm like, well, no, because that's not us. And
Yeah.
that's not our people.
Yeah.
And we're trying to use the people, the gifts that God's given people in this church to the best of their ability to express the worship that God deserves. So.
Did you say like you usually look at the sermon and
Yeah,
scripture?
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
and so it's prayerful, but we're looking at the sermon, we're looking at the text, and then throwing about a bunch of ideas, and
Yeah.
then we discuss them.
Right.
So sometimes you will say, and you don't do this a ton, but you'll in our planning document, he'll put these songs would be great, like 2 or 3, and you don't do that.
Yeah.
All the time, but you
Right.
do it, and so when he does that, I'm like, oh, he's thinking of things.
Or sometimes I'm like, I hear a song, I'm like, our church will sing this
Yes,
song. They will
exactly.
love this song. Like Psalm
And so-
34.
yeah.
Bring it back.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah,
And so we will.
You know what song I'm talking about? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll
Cry
we'll
a
use
little
that
because it's not UMPT doing it.
I know.
True.
You and Skylar could do
Yeah.
it though. If you
Yeah,
got Skylar
yeah,
up there,
that's true.
yeah.
It'll be good.
He loves
so,
some Shane and Shame.
It's good. So there's
Okay.
a lot more to it, but
Yeah.
it's a shorter broadcast.
Well, this is a huge swing, different direction. But
Yes, it is.
do the promises to Israel still stand?
Yeah,
So you
I've-
get this question a lot?
because of Hebrews.
Hebrews. We're going
Yeah,
through
and like
Hebrews,
2
yeah.
weeks ago,
We were
I
talking
was
about
talking
it, yeah.
about that I think I don't want to misquote myself, but basically I said that the nation state of Israel today is not the same as the descendants of Abraham. So, and apparently there's a group that thinks that every person who now says Israelite is actually of descent from some other group, and so there's a whole lot of I don't know all the rabbit holes.
Yeah.
I don't follow all the rabbit holes, just so
Yeah.
you know. This is a debated issue.
Okay.
I will say that I read all of the Old Testament through the lens, and really all the Bible through the lens of Jesus' words as the number one authority. And so I think that the Old Covenant is fulfilled in Jesus. So I think that all the promises to Israel are fulfilled in Jesus. Now, are some of those still going to manifest themselves in the return of Christ? Maybe. But I'm not fixated on that. I certainly, and what I said very clearly is I don't think we need to try and make Israel this independent nation with a temple that's built in Jerusalem and all that for Christ to come back. Like I feel like the Hebrews and the Gospels are very clear about that. So I would say, yes, the promise still stands. It's fulfilled in Christ. Then people are like, well, Israel's God's chosen people, but most of those people also believe that they need to accept Jesus. So it's like, okay, so now we're just kind of arguing semantics here, you know. I do understand that there is, and it's growing even, anti-Semitism that thinks because basically the fig tree was cursed, you know, that the Israelites, descendants of Abraham, cannot go to heaven. And I'm like, that is just not true. Yeah, Paul clarified that. Who was like coming hard against Judaism, you know, but he still clarified like, hey, they could be grafted in, like all those things. The Romans 10, salvation is available to the Jew first and the Greek. So like, that's just, I don't know what that is. You know? I mean, that Sunday when I was talking about, like, I thought we decided Hitler was bad, right? I thought people would laugh and they're like, like, what's he saying right now? So anyway, so I guess I would say that's a very debated issue, and I respect that. Personally, based on the scripture, it's all pointing to Jesus, and I trust him with that.
That's good.
That's a good answer.
At the end of the day, he knows.
I mean, he said it's obsolete. He said that covenant's obsolete.
Yeah.
But the Abrahamic covenant preceded the Moses covenant, so I would say, like, I could see why you would say, okay, but God still is using Abraham's descendants for his purpose, and he's given the opportunity to trust in Jesus, and he's doing some of that. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it is an interesting
So we should
debate,
proclaim
that's
the
for sure.
gospel to them.
Right. Yeah. How what does it mean for us? Either with either thing being true.
Yeah, but the political aspect of it, and I would say politically, I side with Israel when it comes to like these issues of Palestinian stuff and all that. But that is not like, we should not make that a spiritual issue.
Right.
And I think that's where I get a little concerned with some Christians who make it like the promises to Abraham in Genesis 12. So we have to let Israel as a political state who supported Pride Month for clarity.
Yeah.
We have to let them do whatever they want.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Spiritually, yeah. Okay. I'll probably just muddy the waters more.
Well, it's fine.
It's okay. It's
It
boggy
is
talk.
boggy talk.
It is
But-
boggy talk.
Okay.
Well, another one is Josh Howerton. So if you don't know who he is, he's like pastor,
He's pastor in Texas.
podcaster.
He's
Yeah.
pretty popular.
He's become very popular.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been asked that several times.
I have also. Kids and adults.
Yeah. I mean, like what he says is mostly fine.
Yeah.
I think if you go to the source documents, if you want to know, he's echoing a lot of who he says is his mentors, Joby Martin and Church of 1122. And I think for me, I have a hard time with him. I mean, I don't know him, so I just have seen his stuff for a while. And you kind of notice people going in a direction, and I'm like, he certainly knows what he's doing in marketing, and
He definitely does.
And he definitely is like, I wasn't looking for this. It just kind of happened. Like, no, you definitely knew.
Yeah.
And you to the point where you can like see where he started to play up. Like his Texas twang has gotten thicker over the past few years. If you just go back and listen to videos, he's from Texas. He has it, but it's like he's playing.
It's like Brian Kelly when he came to LSU to be the football
That's
coach
right.
at LSU.
Elliot Lang
part of
song
it's
now
like-
stuck in my head.
Yeah, you're playing a persona.
Because you sing Ella Langley
What you
songs.
just said, yeah.
I haven't heard you sing Ella Langley. I've seen you singing Ella Langley.
That was
So I
funny.
mean, most of the stuff he says is gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my short hot
I have to
take.
tell that story.
Yeah.
So I have interacted with him in the past, and I have good friends who are good friends with him.
Really?
Yes. So, and they like him a lot. I'll say that I think for the most part he's being faithful. I mean, it's just different when you get to that level of church and that level of fame. So So like some of it is like it just is what it is, and there's some things about that we like, and some things about that we don't like. I like a lot of what he said on the Sean Ryan YouTube. Granted, I haven't had 2.5 hours to listen to the whole thing, but a lot of what I heard was good. But then like he said that story about that he was just a random 16-year-old who called up this megachurch pastor who had time for him. Well, his dad was executive at Lifeway. So he had connections.
This is just random.
But like pastors do that. They like tell
they
these
try
stories.
to make their origin story this dramatic, and it's just like, dude,
and this guy just
got connections.
I know.
God uses people with connections. Just say that, like it's fine.
I try to like demystify what's happening in our church, and then I'm like, our church has a lot of money for its size. Like that's why we're able to do some of the things we do because we're in Niceville. Like, and we had old people like who've been here a long time who are very committed. Like, we could tell a story like we came and the church exploded, and we were both in Crestview, and the Lord had connected you and I over eyes, and it was divine appointment.
That's right.
It was really a dude saying crazy stuff.
But that's like that's the legend gets formed.
Right,
and so it's like that.
Yeah,
I can't stand stuff.
It is interesting. I don't feel like he's ever like fully come out. Like he was very like woke leaning like 7 years ago.
Really?
And then COVID. Oh yeah. Like J.D. Greer. Like you know how people think J.D. Greer's woke. He was like exact same. Yeah. Like, and he kind of shifted.
Interesting.
And we've never really like fully addressed But we were at a dinner. This was like 5 years ago, right? 4 years ago, and when he was. And by the way, he just like left. He got the point to go to Life. I remember this because again, I have friends. That's back when I was like loosely connected to him, and he was pastoring a church in Nashville, connection from his dad, and it was blowing up. And he got an opportunity to go to Lake Point, and he was there in a week.
Yeah,
he left his church of 1,000 and was there in a week.
Yeah, when you see opportunity,
he just moved, and it's fine. We'll trust that. But anyway, so this is like a year or two after that. We're at a dinner, and some friends are telling us, they're like, he's starting to wear Carhartt, he's starting to become like and it all happened. Yeah. So which again, people are getting saved. Like he's not saying anything heretical. Some of the people who are going after him, I'm like, they're just.
So my question is, do you think that he's? Because I feel like people just listen to him more like podcasts and like his preaching. Like, is that where his fame is more?
I think
from
so.
his
It's definitely
podcast
more
than
from,
like that.
I think that's just about anybody now.
I think that's more recent. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, he's at a big church, so they have media teams.
I didn't even know he
they
was a
clearly
pastor.
spent a ton of money on time
production.
And it's interesting, and it's all good, but like. I am not connected to that church or 1122 at all, but I have tons of Facebook stuff that like always pops up from those churches, and I don't really follow them. I'm like, they're clearly their team. Like, there's a strategy here to get this stuff in front of not just Jacksonville and not just Dallas, but like
to be
the nation.
Yeah.
Again, some of our frustration with all that is like it just is what it is. It's the same thing as being frustrated back in the day with like TV preachers. It's like it just kind of is what it is.
Yeah. So
exactly. So but you could say that a little bit about LA. I'm sure there's like, church of 70 people who's like throws shade at some of the things about our church. No,
so
I'm not justifying anything.
I think ultimately, like, there are people on social media who kind of go after him who've been a part of his church, and I think when you get to you're a pastor of a church that size, there's going to be those people, that kind of people, regardless if you've done everything wrong or if you've done everything right.
Yeah.
So
right, absolutely.
So I can't judge that at all. I think that part of it is like he used an illustration in a teaching one time that was like, why would you ever say that? And then he gave an apology, and his apology was like word for word
what Joby Martin had said.
Apology that Joby Martin had said to his church here before. And then he came out and was like, well, I contacted him and he took coaching, and so that's why. And it's like, that's just too much spin for me. Just be like,
I'll say,
also it might be legit, and I'm not there, and I don't know, and it's fine.
It's just a lot. So what I'll tell you the one thing, and we'll move on. When they did that, like, hey, we had all these couples living together, we got them all married at the same time. I'm like, that is not wise. But it was like this big, like, Instagram, like, we married. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. They married like 55 couples in one night who were living together.
55.
And he was like, a lot of y'all are living together, and you just need to make it right. And they married them all. I'm like, how?
That night, like a spontaneous wedding, spontaneous baptism.
And it looked cool, and people were celebrating. I'm like, this is a terrible idea.
Yeah,
this is a
that is
terrible
pretty
idea.
terrible.
But,
because you're like you could be very easily getting people to make
Yeah.
which I get it, but like an emotional decision that isn't wise for the long term, even if you are living together, like
Yes.
it may not be that you need to get married.
Yeah,
some of
You
those-
need to
some
just
of those
separate.
do. Yeah, I
You
know.
just need to
I know,
separate
I know.
and walk away from the sin and
Yeah,
receive the Lord's forgiveness, and not like in the moment of this teaching series about God's
Yeah.
covenant and the Lord's working, and people are like, we just needed it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Anyway.
I've ever had to do this, but like the old school like pastor would be like, y'all need to separate if y'all want me to marry you.
yeah.
Like I want to see that he's with you for more than
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've,
You know.
I've done that, and it's
Yeah,
like it is
true.
hard to have that conversation.
yeah,
where you're
yeah.
like, listen, this is what it's gonna be.
Anyway, man, we
Anyway,
dovetailed
all right,
there.
Anyway,
That's fine.
Speaking of that,
Really, we had
well,
nothing to
there's
say.
no way to wrap this next one in here. So, what do you think about possible elimination of property taxes?
I have been asked this a lot.
that's so funny. Well, they talked about it at Legacy.
Well, in
Live.
Yeah,
1
okay.
Corinthians 13. Just kidding.
I'm like, I mean, yay, but the money's coming from somewhere,
I
so we're gonna pay
know,
it somehow.
I
know.
So
I
I don't know.
know.
That's what I think.
We'll use Niceville as a great example. We do not want our pickleball court to be paid for, like where you have to pay to have us,
Right.
pickleball.
There's protests.
But we want property taxes to go away,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
support that. So it's like that
we
just
want
doesn't
awesome
make any
schools. We
sense.
want the best schools in the state and the country, but we don't want to.
What's wild to me
this.
about
Right, yeah.
this one is like Republicans are typically like anti-government welfare programs and those kind of things
Mm-hmm.
because like where's the money coming from? But they're like, yeah, no property taxes.
Yeah.
It's like
Listen,
Okay.
the
I think
money's
it's
coming
gonna
from
be a
somewhere.
because
mess.
some of that goes to schools, right?
Goes
Like
to schools,
yeah.
it's county government. So yeah.
which I don't think the school. I think you'll still pay property taxes for
On that,
schools. They'll just be part of it.
Right.
Yeah, DeSantis has made a lot of good decisions. This one's weird.
Yeah, I think so.
But
as
I don't
well.
know
It's gonna
enough.
be
Like I would
interesting.
need to see like what is the financial
Yeah.
plan, and I'm just not going to spend the time doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But my property taxes do keep going up. It's really frustrating.
It is.
I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out what's happening.
The domino
And
effect.
again, the money's coming
Yes.
from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's true. Well, then our last question. With all of the change and just new hires and summer was very, very busy, how are y'all doing? How's everyone doing?
You too, Kelly. You too.
who's
And
gonna
how can
start?
people pray for us?
Yeah, and how can people pray for you?
I'll start. I'm good. I am talking in my podcast voice now. No, we
getting real. It's
we
getting
have
Background
we
music.
have 7, not 9 children. Even though I accidentally said 9 a couple weeks ago in my sermon. We have
great.
7 children.
Yeah, was it prophetic? Was it,
And
foretelling?
I'm pastor of a church that has a decent amount of people, and so it's just a lot.
Yeah.
And there are challenges, and burdens that I carry, and they are heavy, and I need to, as we talked about last week, have fun more in my life. I recognize that. And my kids are going to the gym with me now, so my me time is gone. It's really frustrating.
Yes.
I was gonna say, how does
It's
that
really
work?
frustrating. I'm like,
You're like, oh.
I know. So like one time a week, I'll like go into the sauna, and Judah came in with me, and he's like talking to me, and I'm like, and then I was on the treadmill, and like I'm trying to watch Boggy Talk, just tune out, like listen, and Lily's talking to me, and finally I'm like, Lily, I'm not talking to you for the next 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm like I feel so bad to
Going
my
into
kids,
the-
but I'm like
need
I
15
just need
minutes,
some.
yeah.
Just a moment.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
all that is it's just a lot. Yeah. So, but I mean, I'm good, and God's good. I think. Yeah, I don't want to speak for you, but I think like there's just a recognition, like, man, I really got to keep getting a handle of this, or self-sustainment or sustainment is
Yeah.
not.
It's-
Self-sustainment is never good, but sustainment is not going to happen.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you can. Anybody. Yeah, you can run at a sprint for a season, but the season has to end, or
Yeah.
no one can fully
Right,
run at
true.
a sprint.
This summer was not. Usually, summer is like a different rhythm for us.
I feel like summer was not. Summer.
But we had the Skylar
Yeah.
transition. We had PT leaving. A lot of new staff. So it was.
Yeah, I think that was
was
missing
kinda-
this summer. There was not a
yeah.
break, real.
No,
So
yeah.
anyway, because of all that. So
How are you, Justin?
How
can we pray for you, Justin?
Listen, I said this in life group last night. I just said, here's what you can pray for me. It's like there's things that this season is just beyond full, and that's just reality. So I'm praying, like I want you guys to pray for me that in the busyness, like that I don't miss Jesus.
Yeah,
Like Jesus
right.
wants to work. He wants to still. He wants me to still be close to him, and he wants to pour into me, and so I don't want to miss that. And so even just like, Lord, what are you doing right now, and what are you refining in me, and how do I need to trust you more? I mean, that sounds very. I mean, it is. That's what my heart, right? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot. We could talk for a long time about a lot there is, and that's okay. What it is, what it is. Between family and then just all those things. So just being with the Lord in it all, and then letting that flow out of me to my family. I mean, primarily to Christy and our kids, and then also this church and leading and staff and responsibilities.
Yeah.
I think for both of us, like seriously, pray about this worship leader and production person, because we're a church that like doesn't place a great emphasis on like being showy, but we do, like we all sense like we want it to be done well so that it isn't a distraction, so that it glorifies Jesus, and we want people who are just like life-giving.
Yeah. And people may not realize how much those two positions affect
everybody.
almost every ministry.
Yeah,
and
you
so
usually get a complaint about something every
Yeah.
week.
So you're looking for people who can have, like we've said before, really tender hearts and really thick skin, because you have to, in those roles particularly,
it's true.
you have to.
And who can get crap done.
And who can work.
Yes.
What about you, KB?
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, same. It was a really, really busy summer and a lot of change, but it's all, I think, been like positive, and I feel hopeful and expectant for the future. I think it's also a little weird because just family-wise, I mean, you guys have seniors this year.
I was thinking
too.
that
we all have seniors.
So,
There's 4 seniors represented at this table.
So I feel
A few
like
juniors.
all the family dynamics, I'm like, oh, yeah, I need to, kind of soak in some of these next little holiday and season things, because it's just all going to change again.
Yeah.
And the way that feasibility of getting together is going to change. So that's very odd, because you just think it's far away, and then you're like, wow, it's here, here we go. So, it's good, but just, and same that, I just stay connected to the Lord, and that flows out of me, and first making sure that my family doesn't get the leftovers, and
That's right.
I have a positive attitude with them too. So
That's right.
that's definitely important.
Well, you guys, seriously, you two are very life-giving. I'm so grateful. I texted y'all last week. I just reflected. It was a busy, full day of ministry when we recorded last week, but I was like, man, I really like these guys. So, gal. Sorry, gal.
It's all right.
I just say guys. I get corrected at church, and I'm like, how are you guys doing? And ladies will be like,
I say guys.
Did
too,
you say
that's
guys?
fine.
It's just
I say guys too.
in general.
Use guys.
It's kind of like
You know,
y'all.
like
it's like a
being
y'all.
from New York, I say
You
use guys.
guys, yeah.
Yeah, I don't say y'all unless I'm being funny.
Yeah, y'all.
I guess that's
I
a
say
southern.
Y'all,
I say y'all.
listen,
adjective.
y'all. Brothers,
Yeah,
sisters.
it's for added
Brothers,
emphasis.
sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do a reel of all the random things I call people when I'm like getting serious in sermon, because I'll be like, brothers, sisters, friends.
That's
Like
true.
I don't know. It's like
The
I don't know
brother
what to
thing is
say.
kind of triggering from the SBC,
I'm
because
sorry.
I have never heard
sorry.
that so many times.
Brother?
They it was almost like a joke,
Yeah,
yes.
but it was funny. So, well, next week we will have some guests on
Yeah.
with us. So
Not me.
we've been talking about staff and all
Yes.
that. So we want
Maybe I'll
to.
be in another country.
Maybe so.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe so.
Who knows?
We'll see.
Hold
Yeah.
things loosely.
No, very soon.
Yeah. So be sure to join us for that. If you have any questions, you can email me at kelly@churchonbayshore.org. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for listening to Boggy Talk. We are so glad you joined in the conversation. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss a beat.